It's about Superman. So in another article on the Wrap, which is written by someone else, they basically had a source who talked about Superman. So here's what the paragraph says. If Hamada exits, DC Films would be going through its third overhaul in just 6 years, since Jeff Johns and John Berg first replaced the former production chief Greg Silverman, who I think was actually pretty good. With that duo in turn replaced by Hamada. As part of Zaslav's restructuring, the new head of DC will not only manage the film side of the imprint, but the television and publishing side as well. So this is really important because now they have different divisions for WB, New Line, and DC, right? So the DC division head would also be looking at the TV projects like HBO Max, CW, and all that. So they will now have only DCEU projects on HBO Max, just like Marvel now has just the MCU projects on Disney Plus. WB DC will have just DCU projects on HBO Max, and maybe some originals for the Black Label and stuff. Who knows? But they will not have now CW projects or Legends for or two Superman going around and stuff like that. So I think the Superman show will be going, um, but yeah, it would be a tall order for any executive, as well as even Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige had to find another blockbuster success at the box office first before being given the chance to tackle publishing. What could the new DC plan be going forward? Will the new DC chief follow the plan laid out by the Flash movie or start something new altogether? If anything, they'll go back to individual movies unless DeLuca has some plan, according to a DC insider. Now we don't know who this insider is. It could be some random employee. It could be one of the execs. Nobody knows.
Could be the person who wrote the article.
Could be the person who wrote the article. But yeah, the next sentence, and this is the key one, I think. They should get a fucking Superman movie off the ground, and if the plan is a shared cinematic universe, a Henry Cavill-led Superman needs to be the focal point. You'd think after all these years, this was the most obvious thing to say, right? So, and they go on
Literally,
to
it's
say
a
that
no shit type of answer.
right. Right, and then they go on to say that Zaslav's team should scratch every Superman project in development and start fresh with Cavill. Now there are two things in this, right? So you can either bring the focus back to Superman, Henry Cavill Superman, and continue with the DCEU, or you could soft reboot the DCU, Flashpoint way. Like, how the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War animated movie kind of reset the animated universe at the end. So they didn't need to do all that, but they still had the Flash run into the horizon, and it basically is, rebooting the entire thing, which could work for the DCEU. That way you could continue keeping the same actors but start fresh, the origin story and all that stuff, which I feel like is a harder way to go. I would rather continue it, but I would not be opposed to complete reboot. Like, I would say, cast new actors, start over, and everything like that. I would not be opposed to that because, from their point of view, I see, I see the problems in continuing with the current cast. They have too much baggage, fans, some actors, storylines, contradictions, whatever. If you are someone new getting that job, you would inherit that baggage, and you would be blamed for any single misstep along the way and stuff like that. So if you are coming in, that would probably be one of your demands. So I would think that the person coming in would ask for a reboot if they are serious in building a universe from scratch. But if this, according to this person who wants the Henry Cavill as Superman to be focused, if this is the chatter going inside DC, I would love it if Zaslav agrees to this mentality and just makes another Superman movie. I've always said, like, even Lewis, like, we already had that discussion before as well. Like we did a campaign for Superman before, and it was really big and all that. So we have been wanting Henry Cavill to do more Superman movies since forever. Like it should have been the obvious thing to do. Like I said, you'd think that this is the most important and obvious thing one could say, but apparently not. And finally, Zaslav came in, and he said he was basically, since before getting even signed on to WB and all that, he was talking about Superman. In every interview, he was basically like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. And now finally, it wasn't just words; it's actions as well. He's kind of leading, to that point. I feel so. Yeah, I feel like the biggest announcement they could make right now, and the most important one, is another Henry Cavill Superman movie. Like it's basically the most obvious decision they should make, and it would be the most hyped announcement they would make at a Comic Con or whatever. That another Henry Cavill led Superman movie would be announced. It doesn't have to be by Zack Snyder, and it doesn't have to be a Man of Steel 2 per se, but I would love for the story of Man of Steel to continue from there. Like Henry Cavill also wants, I also want the same thing. You just begin right where Man of Steel ends. He's a reporter and bring stuff back to the ground. No more, superheroes flying around, no more Wonder Woman, Batman, all that. You just have Superman, Clark Kent, and you don't have the dark side stuff. You just have to deal with the Clark stuff, bring it back to the ground, and then lead that into BVS at the end, Rogue One style. Bring in Ben Affleck at the end, tease him, and then that would lead into BVS. So it's a simple movie. You don't have to do big things, and it will bring back Henry Cavill Superman back into audience's favor. If a good director directs it. So yeah, I'm totally down with this. Like I said, I don't know why we are talking about this in 2022. It should have been done in 2016. Just make another Superman movie. It's the most obvious thing. What do you think?
Superman and Lois was like kind of Hawking was looked at as this kind of weird Superman there, but then they kind of reboot with a higher budget, uh, and it's not really connected to the Arrowverse at all, and it's just him, Lois, the kids, and have their story. You can do the same with Henry Cavill. Just people just want to watch a good, entertaining movie. They don't really care about every single reference or every single Easter egg. It's cool to have those kind of things, but just been a good, solid. And Logan wasn't really a sequel to movies, but it was a sequel to nearly all of the X-Men movies. It had little hints or stuff like that, which was cool. So there's ways to do it. You can talk about what happened, or you can show like something that references Batman v Superman. Or you don't have to. It doesn't really matter too much. Just make a solid standalone Superman movie. And I think fans will be happy. Superman, for me, is Henry Cavill, so bring him back. I know his age. Brian was saying that his age is not the best in terms of like, oh, can they make a franchise out of this guy? But he looks good. He's a movie star. He's been in Mission Impossible. He's popular. So yeah, you could get another 10 years, 15 years out of him past the Torch Man, or maybe Sasha Cali. There's loads of avenues to do this, and with movie effects these days, age doesn't really matter that much, considering he's going to be on a harness anyway when he's doing the Superman stuff. So that doesn't really matter. It's not like he really runs, but like Tom Cruise running through streets and stuff like that. Superman flies, so there is ways to get around it. And yeah, so if Zaslav seems to be a big fan of Superman, but he might want to have his own super team, someone that he builds up from the ground. That could be the problem for Henry Cavill. But Black Adam has had its reshoots. Maybe they snuck Henry Cavill in or not. I don't know. It's actually a bit ridiculous if Henry Cavill is not referenced in that movie or doesn't make a cameo. That's a big missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what we have to wait another 3 or 4 yeyears for another Black Adam movie where we might see Henry Cavill. So if they don't have him in that, it's a bit bullshit, to be honest. But because who wants to see Shazam versus Black Adam? Like, who wants to see that? Not even Shazam wants to see that.
Some people.
It feels like it's a bit like a now or never. I think.
Yeah.
Like if I think Sean's right. I think if you get to like Black Adam comes out and there's just no mention of Superman at all, and you're thinking, right, okay, well, Black Adam 2 is not going to be Black Adam versus Superman. You know, it's you want to build up a Shazam versus Black Adam. That's probably like the biggest way to go. You know, Shazam was very well received. But Black Adam's, I don't know how it will be received, but it's probably going to make a fuckload of money because it's Dwayne Johnson. Like there's a natural point to build up to, and in that time, as like a way to bridge between where we are now and that big fighting movie, is you have a solo Superman movie and you just bring him back. But if you don't have any plans of him in the next like 2 years, then everyone having to wait another like 3 years for a movie to come out that just mentions Superman and then lays the groundworks for another movie, which would be another 2 or 3 years after that. Like, I mean, you see how much Marvel movies are still making a boatload of cash, but like, you're gonna be close to like 20 years of superhero movies since Iron Man at that point, you know, and people will start getting bored. You know, you gotta strike while the iron's hot, even if it's 15 years. That's still better than 20 years in terms of how long you have between projects. But yeah, it just feels like you gotta do it now, or Henry's just gonna be like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna carry on making Witcher series, I'm gonna keep making these other movies where I get to have a bit more fun with it. But yeah, it just seems, as you said, Casey, it's just like the most obvious and clear thing to say, just make a fucking Superman movie. Like, how difficult is it? At least with Marvel, it's like, okay, yeah, we started with Iron Man, but like if Marvel was going through this same kind of turmoil, it wouldn't be like, dear God, make an Iron Man movie. It'd be like, okay, but we just got to make a big movie. But with DC, it's like Superman is like the quintessential DC hero. Just make a movie with him in. People love Henry as Superman. Just make a movie. That's it. Just give people something and kind of at least get a centrality to the universe, because it is very scattered, but it's not exactly like dysfunctional at the moment. DC's universe, like the doing, it's not as coherent as the MCU, but I think that any attempt at doing that was given up a long time ago. And I don't think it's a particularly good idea for them to try and make up lost ground and to try and say, okay, now we're going to try and go super hardcore with our shared universe, and then in 5 years we're going to have a big Avengers style movie. It's like you already have like your Justice League movies there. You already have Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was received extremely well. Like, go back to that if you need to. Just call it Justice League 2 and have Zack Snyder if you don't want to. Just anything, you know? Don't try and start this over from scratch, but you have to start no matter what you're thinking of doing. A Superman movie just seems to be the most obvious point.
Yeah. Rokan?
Okay.
Let it loose.
So, all right, I will. It's like this. I don't see how a studio can look at Henry Cavill and not see that he's money. When you've had him in Mission Impossible, you had him on The Witcher, which is one of the biggest movies was one of the biggest shows that Netflix has done. You know, it's a popular video game and book series that has done a successful adaptation. He's in Enola Holmes, which was very popular, with families and stuff like that. He's going to be in Argyle, which is as like Apple TV's like next franchise of a series of films. Like, he is money right there. And remember, John Cena, said at the premiere of the Suicide Squad, it's in a company's best interest to listen to their audience. And what the audience wants is they want another adventure with Henry Cavill as Superman. We all want to see him, wear the costume once again. Now, would I want to see him, versus Brainiac again, or versus Brainiac, or like Toyman, or whatever? Absolutely, it'd be a fucking dream. You know what I mean? Considering the fact that I've always been tired of the fact that all the Superman movies have just been Superman versus Lex Luthor, Superman versus Zod, and I wanted to see them kind of like expand his rogues gallery and expand, the world.
We got Brainiac on fucking Krypton, but not in a movie.
Shut up! I'm making a point. So
yeah, I'm adding to your point. Like, we never had Brainiac in a movie.
That is true, and we also have Brainiac in Smallville as well. Actually, now that I remember, but it's true. You haven't. I don't know why they have not taken advantage of the fact that they have a character who's as iconic, who has an incredible amount of story to go from than Superman, because you could say, well, J.J. Abrams is doing this. Like, J.J. Abrams has done jack fucking shit with the DC world. Not, like he was going to do a Superman movie. I have not heard a single thing about that. He's trying to do a John Constantine show. I haven't heard anything about it. Like, at this point, the guy just took the WB gig just to get more money, which, power to him, I would do the same fucking thing. But at the same time,
in the end, he was the winner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like I said, I would do the same thing. But the point is, though, you have an opportunity with Cavill, and to continue that, and they haven't done jack shit about that for God knows whatever reason. So I don't.
And it's not like he was Ben Afflecking it. He wants to make it. He's openly saying in interviews that this is how I want my next Superman movie to be made. He's pitching it to directors like Christopher McQuarrie. And
that's the thing. Christopher McQuarrie's Superman movie, like, that sounds awesome. Like, why would you?
He wanted to have a Green Lantern in there as well, right?
Yeah.
I think he was. I think he was pegged for Green Lantern, but he wanted to do Superman instead. But it's like, why would you not? You would have to be a fucking moron to say no to a Superman movie with Henry Cavill from the director of the last, 2 Mission Impossible movies. So. Yeah. I don't understand why.
And a producer on Top Gun, Maverick.
And producer on Top, yeah, right. Producer and writer on Top Gun too, and also he wrote Edge of Tomorrow, which, no surprise, Edge of Tomorrow is fucking beloved and is also a Warner Brothers movie. So
ridiculous,
Exactly. Like, I don't see why they don't take advantage of that, and I'm glad. I hope that the reports are true that they want to scrap all the Superman projects because you're not making any progress with it. You're not doing jack shit. It's not like J.J. Abrams will, cry and beg for them to take away his Superman projects. He won't care. He'll move straight to Apple TV. He'll go back to Paramount and he'll remake E.T. and the Goonies again with another train monster. So it's like you might as well just do what everybody's been demanding for the past 4 or 5 years and just make another fucking Superman movie. I don't care if it connects to the Snyder world or not. I just want another adventure with Henry as Superman. I mean, look, I got a BBS poster right fucking behind me, man. So that's, yeah. Bottom line is, it's now, better late than never to give Cavill one more.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like, the best way to do it is definitely the way, Henry pitched it in that GQ interview. I feel like that's the safest and the best way to make it inside the DCEU and have it just focused on him. You have a 18-month gap between Man of Steel and BVS. You have a lot of time there. Just go back to the grounded stuff. There's no super, beings flying around. You can do what Superman Lois does. Like, you have family drama there. You can have a neighbor who he's basically helping. Him and Lois are helping a neighbor. Something like that. And then you have a big bad at the end. Sure, but it would be more of character focused, so people would love and appreciate Henry Cavill's performance more. He's not just the action Superman. He's also good Clark Kent character, which basically he was starting to be at the end of Man of Steel when he joined the Daily Planet. So you can have the Daily Planet stuff as well. That's his day-to-day job. He could solve that as well, and there could be a mystery surrounding a new thing that happens with this neighbor of his that they're helping, something like that. Simple stuff. You can really show the character with that. You don't have to have super flying beings with laser eyes and dark side threats and Batman beating your ass and all that stuff. It's the simplest way to make another Superman movie without all these stuff, because at that time you didn't have any of this stuff.
Exactly. Like, you can. I think that idea of filling that 18-month gap would be great. Actually, it would not discount what happens later on in BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can just make that kind of like the connective tissue in a lot of ways, in the same way that you kind of do with the first Wonder Woman. Like, you're able to make that, even though, like, obviously it takes place 100 years before any of the events, you can still make that connection tissue with when we see her in BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hell, like there's an end credit, like there's a deleted scene on the Wonder Woman Blu-ray that has them fighting the Mother Box. So you can do things like that with, you know, with the in-between film of Man of Steel and BVS.
Yep. Maher, you were gonna say something?
No, it's just like, honestly, even if they didn't do that, just make a Superman movie with Henry Cavill, because that's what most I think the average audience would be into.
Yep.
You know, I think he's very popular online.
Yeah.
His social media following is pretty big. When he builds a PC, it's pretty interesting and people like it. The Witcher and Mission Impossible, as Rokon was saying, he's a big attraction. So just make a Superman movie. I don't think at the end of the day, like, we can all pick and choose, oh, I want to have Batman v Superman canon, this canon. Yeah, but general audiences don't really care necessarily about all that kind of stuff. They just want to see maybe the character and him as the character. So if they make a good movie, a good Superman movie, then all the other stuff doesn't really matter. You know, we don't want it to be the Shazam cameo or the Justice League movie in 2017 stage. I think, you know, I don't think they'll do that. Hopefully not. Just make a Superman movie and see how you go. And Henry Cavill is too good of an attraction to waste, or to bring someone else in as a reboot. So hopefully they get everything in line, the contracts, all that kind of stuff is sorted. Hopefully he's teased a series that he wants to do, Superman series, and he is a Warner Brothers guy. He's going to be one of those guys who the studio is going to want to tie down, like Timothy Chalamet, you know. And Michael B. Jordan he's a very good producer. He's producing a lot of good stuff. He's directing now Creed 3, and he's an actor. And he is I think his Superman could be something that he's trying to push forward. I think he would play Superman. So like, time is running out for Henry Cavill, and they need to start pushing him in the right direction. So hopefully they hurry up, because time is running out, and interest will run out as well. I think with people.
Yeah, there's only so much patience that people would have for all this bullshit. But yeah, like a lot of people have already given up on the DCEU, like long before. But one way to, you know, reinvigorate that would be to have a new Henry Cavill Superman movie. Everyone loves this, you know, interpretation of Superman, especially after Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think he will do pretty fantastic.